Hi there guys and gals, Brian here. So this is my Kershaw Rove. It's a speed assist or safe assist opening, and it's just returned from a bit of a torture test. 9 days in the Grand Canyon, constantly wet and lots of fine sand, and although the action still seems to be okay, not ideal conditions for an assisted opening knife. Thought I'd disassemble it, see what's in there, give it a clean. And I've never done this before, so we both might learn something. So the pivot screw is a T8. Go. You can still see some of that fine sand in there. The scale screws are T6. Just so stuff doesn't get away from me, I use a little bowl to keep my bits in here, and it's got a ceramic magnet in there, so all the screws and whatnot are going to stick to that and not go running off on me. There's something trying to push this apart right now. That will most likely be, there we go, that is the liner lock. Nope, that was the spring. There we go. Now you can see the spring here, and in that mechanism we got lots of gunk, needs to be cleaned out, so we'll get to that. Just give that a quick wipe right now. I'm not going to bother taking off the lanyard. I'm not generally a lanyard guy, but the trip was 9 days of whitewater rafting, and this thing was in my pocket, and I just wasn't willing to trust the clip alone. So I had it on a lanyard, and then the lanyard was fixed to a loop inside my carry pocket. So obviously I didn't lose it. So it worked. And although you guys probably can't see it, I can feel a lot of grit on my fingers right now. There we go. Yeah. Some posts in the back spacer. Pin, and a brass bushing on one side. Let's see if we can find the other one. There we go. And you can probably see all the, there's the blade stop. Try to remember that one is colored. You can see all the grit and junk here on the liner. Get most of that off here with just a dry paper towel. I'm going to go back over everything with Q-tips and some alcohol, I think. I'm going to take this lanyard off. It sort of gets in the way for this operation, but I think it's the pain of retying it, just not worth it. There we go. Now the Speed Safe, or the assisted opening system on the Kershaw knives relies on some grease in this pocket. So I'll be replacing that. Not sure what type of grease they use, but I've got some white lithium grease. We'll see how that works. There we go. Right, so I think we've got most everything off there. And maybe now it's time to clean up some of these bits here. Alright, got some fresh paper towel. Give it a squirt. This is just rubbing alcohol. Get some of the gunk and grease and oil off these. We'll be replacing that with fresh. These are the most important parts here to get cleaned up because of the pivoting surface. A bit more alcohol. Let's get into the pivot area here on the knife. Make sure that gets well cleaned up. And then we'll do the scales. So let's see how this is going to go together. So this goes on like so. Well, I can still feel some grit there. Maybe you could hear that. Let's see where that's coming from. Fingers are remarkably sensitive for such things. Get inserted into that. And we need to get, there we go, we need to pop into the liner. Number 2. And number 3. Number 3 doesn't seem to be going in very easily. There we go, got it. Okay, so again, getting strings sorted out. Just prepping for assembly here. Now, I'm going to take all these things off. This is a little bit difficult pulling them off the magnet one-handed. So we've got a stop pin that needs to go in. Well, let's get on in frame here. There we go. And a washer. Just going to stick down a little bit of oil. I like to use a very light oil on the pivot. This is in fact oil made for lubricating hair clippers. Seems to work pretty well, at least it does for me. Now, need the pivot to go in here. Now this has got a D cut out in it. There we go. Like so. Get that washer back on. This sort of job you need about 4 hands and very skinny fingers for. There you go. Get that stop pin back in. Now, get the blade. I'm just going to stick a little bit of oil on this bushing. Get that put down like so. Alright, now I am going to put those screws in on the other side, because I just don't have enough hands to get that spring in without these screws helping me a little bit. I might come back later and put some Loctite on these guys as well. Come on, there we go. Okay, so that's enough to hold the scale on this side. Something to take note of, that these two screws, well, the two screws that hold the clip, they're a little bit longer than the other scale screws, but they do go through into the liner. Alright, now we got this fella here to take care of. And so I'm just going to leave that there. Don't move. Let's get a little bit of grease into this. Alright, that'll have to do. Let's see if we can get this on here without too much drama. Looks like we're doing just fine. Get another one of these screws in here. Let's see if we can get the pivot screw in. Once we've done that, we're pretty much home free. Good. Seems to be working fine, and no sign of grit. Alright. Thanks very much for watching.